Hi, so today we're going to be talking about gaming and fundraising for charity and how far it's come and what it's like nowadays. Joining me today is the ThePiPiper from the NarwhalPod on my right, yeah, my right, and also Sally from GamesForWaves, which is part of WDC
Hello.
on my left. So let's start from the beginning. Where fundraising really came from in terms of gaming. Prior to 2010, the gaming was kind of had a little bit of a stigma towards it. That's eventually gone away. But towards the start of the 2010s, we had quite a few big things start, like Games Done Quick, Extra Life, and Jingle Jam, to name a few. Fast forward to now, where we've got WDC fundraising through gaming and doing a very good job with it as well. So I want to in this video talk about the link between developers and publishers with streamers and content creators and viewers and gamers. I don't know too much about Jingle Jam. Sally, do you know would you be able to explain that a little
Yeah,
bit?
I could talk about Jingle Jam.
Yeah.
So, WDC has worked with Jingle Jam for the better part of a decade. We were very lucky to be a Jingle Jam charity partner from, I want to say 2016 up until 2024. So, about 8 years that we were part of Jingle Jam. And it's changed, it's evolved quite a lot over those years. So when it first started, it was just Simon and Lewis. We used to get presents sent to them quite often Christmas time, and they said to their community, "We'd rather you give to charity instead of sending us things." And so they set up a really small fundraiser. I think it was to raise money for Oxfam, where people were sending donations to Oxfam instead in the name of the Yogscast. And they realised that there's something there. Obviously, if you've got a platform, you've got an influence over some people, people care about what you care about. So they turned that into something really amazing where they launched Jingle Jam, and it's became an annual Christmas time, December festive fundraiser where the originally it was just the Yogscast streaming, and people would donate to them during that time. And they had the Jingle Jam games bundle or collection, so a collection of games that when you donated a certain amount of money, you get that bundle in return. So it's a great incentive for people to want to donate because they get cool games in return. And they put on loads of really special, unique Jingle Jam only content during Jingle Jam. So there's like recurring things like the poker night that people really look forward to each year because it's like a thing that they do for Jingle Jam. Fast forward, to now, it's a huge thing. It's raising. I think last year it raised just shy of £4 million, which is incredible considering I think their very first year with Oxfam was like a few thousand. So it's grown. They've opened it up to become this massive community event as well. So not only are the Yogscast streaming, but hundreds of streamers are taking part and streaming for Jingle Jam and collecting donations all for the chosen charities that Jingle Jam have each year. And from WDC, it's been amazing. Like I said, we were in it for about 8 years, and I think if I can remember correctly, it was a couple of million in total that Jingle Jam has raised for WDC over those years, and that has gone to some incredible projects that's helped support WDC's work, protecting whales and dolphins. We've actually got a truck out in Senegal that's got the Jingle Jam logo on it that the team out there are using to do their field surveys and beach surveys to find entangled North Atlantic humpback dolphins that are extremely endangered, and do necropsies on them and find out why they're dying so they can do better protections for them, and go using the truck as well to go into communities to do education with local fishers and local communities about how to better work around the dolphins instead of accidentally entangling them. And there's also a riverboat in the Amazon with the Jingle Jam logo on, which is pretty cool, that the team out in Peru are using to travel to remote river communities to do education projects around the Amazon river dolphin. And if you've ever get to go up to Scotland to the WDC's Scottish Dolphin Centre, the educational exhibition there has been completely refurbished thanks to funding from Jingle Jam. So to name a few like cool projects that Jingle Jam has made an impact on, that WDC has benefited from. So yeah, Jingle Jam is pretty unique, pretty cool, and it's a very amazing like community event. It's very much focused on, they've like very much steered away from it just being a Yogscast thing. Jingle Jam is now an established charity kind of grant giving body, and everything's done as Jingle Jam, and Yogscast now take part in Jingle Jam. So it's very much kind of giving that equal footing to all creators, big and small, to be able to take part. And they also get to benefit by offering the collection of games to their audiences as well.
I think an important thing with something like Jingle Jam is that it's a known name, and when you have a known name like that, you get quite a lot of streamers and content creators, and they make a big difference both in terms of getting exposure for viewers to the games. There's some viewers that will be inclined to donate towards the cause, but also this is good for the developers and publishers of those games as well, because streaming, let's be honest, is free advertisement for the publishers, and this is very impactful. And I know WDC work a lot with the developers and publishers of games as well. In fact, when we're recording this, you've got a bundle out at the moment. Although by the time this airs, I think that will have expired by then. And so I also want to talk about World Ocean Day, because by the time this comes out, there will be only a few weeks until World Ocean Day. How about I throw over to ThePiPiper? What can we as streamers do what can we do as streamers?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's a huge part. And like as a streamer and like on the side of it, like going back to Jingle Jam a little bit, it's really great to hear like all the stuff that like funded for WDC because I didn't know a lot of those projects. So that was really cool to see. I got to be a part of part of Jingle Jam this last year, raising money for WWF. And that was my first Jingle Jam ever. And it was such an incredible experience because, like you said, part of it and like really it moved away from Yodcast into like a community thing, and I met streamers I'd never had the opportunity to meet. And like one of the really cool things was like a Minecraft collab that occurred for that. And so I know like the year before WDC's last year, they built like this aquarium type thing. So for like WWF, we were able to like build like a bathroom and two of those, and it was like this really cool collaborative thing. And so like to tie it back into like World Oceans Day, in like when these events happen, there's a lot of charities and opportunities, and there's like a goal and a clear mindset of what we want to accomplish in a lot of ways. So I know WDC is doing an event. I know WWF is doing a major event starting on Earth Day on April 22nd, all the way to World Ocean Day. So they're doing their big event, and there's a few others out there. And it's really taking time to one, do some planning. Hopefully, you know, we have a little bit of time before this, but it's a great opportunity for streamers to start collaborating, figuring out awesome opportunities, maybe even looking at some of the games for Waves games to try and like tie those in. Because that's been really cool playing games like Lottle Knot or Spilled has been really awesome. And like it's all about like having those ideas pushed to an audience while also being able to raise money through various means. The big ones right now that you have like Tiltify and Twitch's charity tool are probably the two largest tools that streamers use. But you also have Donor Drive, and you also have Just Giving available as well, which kind of like provide a bit more opportunity. So like I'd recommend any streamer that wants to like look at World Ocean Day and find, you know, what charities are available or like an easy way to stream. Of course, like half self plug is like check out narwhalpod.org where we have a bunch of those resources saved for people to use, but also look at Just Giving, Twitch, Tiltify. That way you have a means to have that money transferred directly to the charities where you're not touching it and it's really safe. And then you can hopefully collaborate and bring people together for a great cause.
I think something else to add to that is if you're ever considering streaming for a charity, contact that charity and let them know because for WDC, we have a whole team dedicated to working with games companies, but also with streamers and content creators. So we can provide you with resources and support and ideas for making your stream really fun and engaging and easy to take part and have a successful fundraiser and learn something and share something with your community. So you never know what the charity can offer back to you. So it's always good to reach out and see if they're able to send like a pack of information, or they might have a team. A lot of charities these days are developing teams dedicated to looking after streaming content creators and games fundraising.
I absolutely agree. I remember before fundraising for WDC, I used to do my own fundraisers for various charities, but I was doing them completely on my own without really like any kind of communication with the charities. And some of them were a little bit successful, but nowhere near the amount raised as during World Ocean Day, in particular October last year. And that was because there was so much support within the community, like developers, publishers, you guys over at Games for Waves as well, fellow streamers as well. Collaborations for charity streams is massive, as I found out, and but it's for World Ocean Day particularly. It's not just what we can do as streamers, because am I right in thinking the majority of what you raise through World Ocean Day is through collaborations with publishers, such as the Steam sale?
Yeah, I mean, historically, it has been. So WDC's experience with gaming fundraising started off in kind of like the biz dev side of things. So our first ever partners were Sega, Humble Bundle, and then Jingle Jam. And we really have got a really amazing network of ambassadors and supporters within different games publishers and developers who love Whales and Dolphins. They really like what WDC does, so they do what they can to kind of spread the word of us within their companies. And then, if they move jobs to a different company, that they continue doing that. It's kind of been a nice word of mouth kind of journey over the last I think it's been 11 years that we've been working with games companies now, and our kind of collaborations with streaming and content creating is still relatively new in comparison. Obviously we've had the Jingle Jam, but that's a kind of Jingle Jam organize it and we just help bring people to it, whereas us doing our own streaming and content creator events is still fairly new. It's about as new as GamesForWaves. So GamesForWaves is WDC's gaming branded initiative. So everything that we do that is related to gaming and streaming comes under the GamesForWaves banner to give everyone that identity and that flag to fly when they're doing something for WDC. So yeah, historically, our World Ocean Day event, it started off as just a Steam sale and it grew to become a Steam sale and a streaming event. So, but yes, the power of games sharing a small percentage of their net revenue with WDC during a sale period is really amazing. That's usually how we get that support. So for games companies, it's really important that they can market their games and get their games seen, and utilizing Steam's discounting offers and getting visibility through that way is really important for games companies. And one big thing that I always really try and do in my role at WDC is make sure that everything that we do working with games companies, they're helping us so much by giving us donations and supporting us, that what we can do back is giving them extra visibility, promoting their games, getting people playing their games. So I do try and make sure that every partnership and collaboration that we have with a games company, it's two-way street. We're helping them as much as they're helping us. And so yeah, we've had some amazing people join our Steam sales in the past. I think one year we had the iconic Stardew Valley join our Steam sale and donate a really amazing amount of money to WDC that helped us with a lot of things that year. overall, so this year will be our 5th World Ocean Day event. So the 4 that we've had so far, it's raised in total over £1 million. And that is the game dev and publisher contributions and the streaming contributions when we started introducing that. So the streaming side of World Ocean Day, I think this year will be the 3rd year we've done streaming as well for World Ocean Day. So we hope to grow the streaming side, because as you see with like Jingle Jam and Thankmas and all these other amazing streaming only, fundraising events, that there is as much power, if not more, in communities coming together and donating. So we're just at the beginning of the journey with the streaming stuff, which is quite cool.
Going to the how like content creators can help promote games. There's one example that immediately comes to mind that ever since I've been playing that game, it's just been, I've just seen their growth like phenomenally. Who has played Everything is Crab?
Oh yeah.
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 They are going places. At the time of recording, I literally just got a Discord notification before we started recording this that they had just surpassed 300,000 wish lists on Steam, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's super exciting. Secret Mojo have been long-term partners of WDC pretty much since Secret Mode existed. So one of the founders of Secret Mode is a WDC ambassador, and he's been supporting us ever since he was a teenager, like as a donor. He's had an orca adoption for years, and he used to be a VP at Sega, and that's how we started working with Sega. And then he moved on to start his own company, which was Secret Mode. So it really is like Secret Mode holds a very special place in WDC's heart, because if it wasn't for the people involved in Secret Mode, I probably wouldn't have this job. So yeah, very, very pleased for them to have such an amazing game that is looking like it's going to be very popular when it comes out.
A lot of people like that game.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So, does anyone have any specific plans for World Ocean Day? I know one of the incentives I'm going to do, you mentioned about the orca adoption. One of the incentives I'm going to have is that everyone that donates will be raffled, and the winner will get a year adoption to a whale or dolphin of their choice, paid by me.
Yeah. I like that a lot. We're like still in development. We've done a few like major charity things, and we definitely like this year. I'm very grateful to like have kind of like discovered WDC in my own way, and like been able to become a Games4Waves pod creator, which has been, I'd love this opportunity honestly, and being able to do that. And so
Likewise.
we're yeah. So World Oceans Day is kind of like what we have our eyes set for, probably our like big annual fundraiser. So we're kind of like working out some plans and other things involved with that with myself and our other 2 NarwhalPod founders and some of our moderators as well. So stuff's in the works, just nothing that we're ready to announce quite yet.
I also want to mention that anyone that might be watching this video is not a developer, not a publisher, not a content creator, someone that's just a viewer or a gamer. You're also helping out, because when we're talking about the interaction between content creators and game developers and publishers, content creators, we provide basically advertisement for the game, but that doesn't work if there's not viewers to see that game. And extra viewers also adds visibility. But then there's also the fact that gamers that just want to play a game can buy a game and also be donating to charity whilst doing that, which is amazing. It's just, that makes it so easy.
Yeah, definitely. So that's kind of, we want to try and make our World Ocean Day event kind of accessible to any level of person. So whether they are a streamer or a game developer, or like you said, a viewer or just a gamer, having that ability to, I don't stream, like I don't really feel comfortable doing that, but I really love playing games, and I'm watching my favorite streamer play this game right now. It's on discount right now, and if I buy it in this week, it helps charity. So that's a really cool way. But
Yeah.
also, even if you don't have the means at the time to be able to buy any games, watching is really good. Sharing social media, talking about it with your friends. Education is so key. It's one of the major parts of WDC's work is education, and knowledge is so powerful. So sharing, about the things you learn during World Ocean Day. So with our World Ocean Day event, we always have a theme to it that is related to one of WDC's areas of work. So last year's event was all about ghost gear, which is lost and abandoned and discarded fishing gear. And so that kind of was the hook that everyone,
No
not
pun
intended, I
intended.
guess, that everyone was able to talk about and feel like them, part of this movement to make a difference in this specific area that's going to help whales and dolphins. And people were learning things about the ghost gear that they didn't know about, and were able to share that. And that's really important for the cause as well, to have more people know about different threats that whales and dolphins face. Helps us, because then they might be more likely to support us in the future because they've heard about this issue before. This year's event is going to be themed all around our Norway for Whales campaign, which is our campaign to work within Norway to change the hearts and minds of Norwegian people to try and bring whaling to an end in that country. We do it in a very collaborative way. We're working with Norwegian activists and advocates, businesses, politicians, to make that groundswell within Norway, so that it's the Norwegian people that are bringing this up as an issue within their own country. And our campaign lead, Lottie, she is Norwegian herself, so she's able to really relate to and resonate with the people of Norway to make positive change for whales, so that they can not be killed anymore, which is great. So yeah, that's kind of what this year's theme is going to be all about, and we are hard at work at the moment preparing all of the supporting materials that streamers and content creators might need to be able to talk about Norway for Whales to their audiences, or share with their communities in other ways. But like I said, even just kind of learning about something and telling someone about what you learned on a stream is always also really important.
So viewers might have seen technical difficulties appear on screen. That's because I mess up the capture by going to look up the dates of World Ocean Day. If I'm not mistaken, it's from the 4th to the 11th of June.
It is, yes. So the Steam sale will go live on the 4th, and that's also when streaming. We encourage the streamers to stream within that week, because if streamers want to play games or promote games from the sale, then doing it within that week. But the streaming side of things is a little bit more flexible than the sale that has a hard end and start and end date. And World Ocean Day itself is on the 8th of June.
I do really want to echo. I don't know if you're aware of like Casey Snowart and like their Save the Vikita event that's gone on like the last couple of years. I just do want to like bring up like how interesting, like, and really like echo that education portion of it. So they've partnered with porpoise.org and their charity to really like raise money and awareness for the Vikita, which is this little tiny small dolphin in the Gulf of California and the Sea of Cortez, which is where like 60% of marine mammals actually reside, which was like fascinating. It's like there's this animal that I had like never heard about, and now I can probably tell you for like 3 hours everything about them. And the Sea of Cortez, I learned so much. So I just really want to echo like that is, and then like I've been able to share that with so many people, and I'm grateful to share it here. So education does go like a long way, and now it's like I get the news articles and everything else to be able to like stay informed. And like now I'm like, oh, all this like makes sense now, and there's like this whole world out there, especially with the ocean, that a lot of us just don't know in a lot of ways. And so like being informed and just watching and sharing that, you'll find people that also find it like a little fascinating. You can like just be that much more informed and be able to help out where you can.
Yeah, that when you say about being more informed, that's also really interesting, because I think when it comes to like ocean conservation in this on this kind of platform, there are so many people who may have never been to the ocean themselves, because they are in like a really central landlocked state or country, and getting to the ocean is really difficult for them. So to be sharing ocean related content on streams like this, I think is really cool, because it gives people that window into what the ocean is like and making them care about it. Because most people have seen a tree or a bee, or a cat and a dog. So it kind of, that connection to wanting to help plant more trees or protect bee habitats or rescue cats and dogs is a bit already kind of there. But a lot of people, it's not there. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. They don't think about the ocean, but the ocean is like incredibly important for every living being on Earth, and so every living being on Earth should care about the ocean. And I think it's a cool way to bring the ocean to people who may never see it in real life, and inspire them to maybe pursue like careers in conservation or careers in ocean related industries. One person that I'd like to mention is Maya Higa, who I'm sure people are aware of, and her whole platform is about conservation education, and she uses Twitch amazingly to bring that information to people and get people excited about all kinds I know she's really keen to get people not being scared of bugs, and so she's always showing, like, because I'm scared of bugs, I hate spiders, they scare me so much, but like watching some of like the Instagram reels and stuff of Maya close up with the spider, and like it's not scary, and look how amazing and beautiful it is. Like I might change my mind about spiders one day, but that kind of thing to like show that there's more out there in the world, I think it's really cool.
I think is very important to bring interest into it as well. I've noticed since I've been making a lot more whale related content, both through Twitch and YouTube. I've seen a lot of my like streamer friends and viewers on Twitch have also developed that interest. The more I talk about it. And when I drop like interesting, bizarre facts like baby orcas have whiskers, they're like, huh? And they want to learn more. We have a running joke within the community that I'm in of a whale fact. Just because I give so many whale facts just here and there.
One of the things with like, so right, I like branded myself fully on narwhals 7 years ago, mostly as a gag that's now like blown up into this thing because the narwhal song had gone really big in like 2018 that I'm sure you might be familiar with. And like it got me in this like I just this giant like finding out more about them and everything else. And it's like we'll raid over with like narwhal modes, and people are like, "Oh, it's cool, sad they're not real," and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're real, right? Like it's mind blowing, and I think part of it is like that connection. They are a little mysterious and they're up in the Arctic, but it's definitely from people that have just no ocean, like ability to go or see it, and so it's on their thought, and like legitimately, there are like people that just don't believe some of these things, so it definitely helps.
Mm.
I love that people didn't think narwhals were real.
But
Yeah, if
they look
anybody's
like
watching
mythical.
this,
They
they're
do look
real.
like
Yeah,
They
mythical
are real.
creatures, don't
yeah.
they? They are pretty amazing. That is one thing that I have like a personal goal with at WDC, is when I'm working with game developers and publishers for, like in-game cosmetics or DLC content that might be supporting WDC, is to try and bring in like the unusual species. So like the Commerson's dolphin, which is like, I don't know if you've ever seen what a Commerson's dolphin looks like. It's like really pointy, and it's like half black, half white. They're nicknamed the pandas of the sea. They are really interesting looking species, and you never see them anywhere, like on merchandise or like used, because most people think of a bottlenose dolphin, an orca, or a humpback whale. They're like the flagship kind of species that everyone is aware of, but there are so many interesting species that look incredible or have incredible abilities, that it's or the Irrawaddy dolphin that looks like he's got a really cheeky smile all the time.
Is that the one with the dorsal fin, not dorsal fin, the blowhole on one side of its head rather than
It might
central?
be. I just know, like, I always see this picture of, and it's got like the way their faces are formed. They have this like cute little smile.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah, that's
Googling right now. Yeah, they just look like a nice friend. They
yeah,
like poke
yeah,
up and you're like, I would have a
yeah.
Uh,
conversation with that guy.
you
So yeah,
know,
I'm always trying to get like interesting species into games, and I may or may not be having a Cobbison's dolphin success at the moment. So
Yeah, yeah.
oh nice.
yeah,
Look
we'll
forward to
see.
it.
We'll see how that goes.
So I think we'll wrap up here.
Mhm.
So I want to thank Sally from WDC for joining us, and I also want to thank ThePiPiper from the NarwhalPod for joining us as well. I'll be linking to the WDC's website in the description and to the NarwhalPod's pod's website in the description as well. Would you two want me to plug the Twitch channels as well? GamesForWaves and the NarwhalPod. Okay, so
We don't stream too often on GamesForWaves, but during our events, so like World Ocean Day, October, and for like partnership stuff, we do stream. So yeah.
So thank you for joining me.